Hey guys. Hey guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good moment in time, good moment of you. Every moment of you is an opportunity to allow more and more and more of you. It is a moment to bring your awareness to yourself, to your energy, to align, to allow, to embody, to activate more and more of you, your light, your God source energy, your portals within, your codes within, your DNA strands within, activating, opening you up to portals, to streams of consciousness that lie within you, that are always available in every moment of you. All right, guys, just gonna hop on and deliver a quick message and some readings if anybody ends up coming on. I'm just taking out a few cards here. I'll do a collective. I'm gonna do a collective card, and then where the heck are my purpose cards? A collective card, and then if there's anybody who wants a personal, I will pull some personals out. So every moment of you guys, just like that statement was, is a moment of you. To activate your light, to align, to embody more and more of your energy, your light, your spiritual energy merged into the physical, to be allowed and to be experienced. Is that not awesome? Is that not awesome? So I know a lot of us the past few days, I know me personally, holy crap, man, we have gone through some transmutation of some sort. I'm going to tell you that. Just transmuting some denser energies, which required us to release some emotions, some old ways, some old cycles, some old ways of being. And that was like a little bit of like a releasing and grieving process. Tears, looking back, saying goodbye, maybe to some cycles that are wrapped up, finished up, some ideas that you might have had. And I know some people that I've talked to have had that, and I know I personally have. And what came out of it was some more light, more light. When we allow ourselves to work through those darker areas, just observe and allow, not to deny or judge or criticize, just allow those emotions, anger, madness, frustration, whatever it is. As we allow that into our awareness, we literally extract the light from it. Because as it passes through our awareness, it is passing through your God self. It's passing through your God eyes to be brought to a higher frequency and vibration through your experience. And I just find that fascinating. So when I was in it, kind of giving up or losing hope on an idea, I said to myself, thank you. Thank you for this resistance. Thank you for this blockage, because it is showing me another way. And that activated light. It activated a surrender and a release where I'm like, oh, okay, I can release that burden. What you got for me, universe? What you got for me, higher self? So a lot of what we've been going through is a merging of that resistance, those challenges, whatever it is that you feel is against you. And when I realized and allowed it to actually work for me, then the transmutation happened. Then like I just felt light. I just felt light. And then relieved, and a burden was taken off. So when you can see the resistances and the challenges and the blockages where you think people, places, things, situations, the universe, God is against you, when you see it as an opportunity and a gift to be your friend, to show you something that you might have not otherwise been aware of or allowed activated within you, when you befriend it, oh my God, it makes all the difference. Anyways, that was really cool. Let me see who's here. Hey, Kimmy Siegel. I got some readers I grabbed from the other house that aren't broken. Never two without three. So hopefully these don't break. All right. Thank you for sharing, Kimmy. Hey, Surinder. Thank you for joining. Hey, Robin Dykes. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Carissa. Thank you, guys. Please share out if you haven't, if you feel like it. So yeah, so much good news and so much activating going on. And I shared a link, channelings by Ryuk through Ryuk, who also channels the Asasani, like Bashar. And it's so awesome because I shared that link, but he too was channeling information of black holes. And I know we were touching upon that a little bit last week about what is a black hole. Well, black holes are those portals to a new dimension, and how I shared the link, so I'm not going to talk about it with the expertise or technical terms that he does, but how Earth has just shifted through a black hole, which brings us to a new Earth. So I just love that. And to me, how I relate it in my message last week and this week is, as we go through those densities and as we're activating that light, it is like creating that portal, going through a dark hole portal. And every time we allow resistance, this is big in my field lately, every time we allow resistance or a blockage or clinging on to an old expectation, when we allow that to be our friend instead of an unfulfilled desire and allow it to show us a new way, we activate light within us, light codes, we activate information. Well, every time you activate light within you, you're activating a portal that you can actually are physically in this body teleporting to that new timeline, to that shift, to that other dimension. And I'm just feeling the more and more and more of us, as we activate and allow more light bodies as a collective, we collectively take this whole experience and go to a new Earth through a portal. But the portal is the activation of our light. It's just fascinating and it's cool. And the channelings and the information just become more and more and more and more and more magical and more like almost sci-fi, but so awesome. So actually, too, also in the giving up of something, of an idea or whatever, it's not that you're giving up on the core idea. You're just giving up maybe of an old expectation or reflection. And I know I've been kind of personally dealing with that, thinking I got to do things in the old way, or I got to solve problems in the old way, or I got to keep living the old way. But we're really being called to the new ways, which is actually bringing us to greater freedom and liberation. Just like last week, I also gave an example of, well, some people want to buy a house. I think they need to buy a house the old way. Well, sometimes renting a place will actually give you the freedom and that you really want, but you think you need to achieve it in another way. That's just an example. Or maybe in the old way, you might have thought you needed a 9 to 5 job with all of the benefits and the insurance and the retirement plan. And you thought that was the way, but maybe some of you are breaking free, creating your own way. And it's actually creating more freedom, but the security isn't going to come about in the old way. The new security is coming from a new frequency and vibration where you're provided for in different ways. And even in that, leaving a job maybe you didn't like, but you were there for the securities, the benefit, the security, what was I going to say? All of the company benefits or whatever, maybe that was actually causing you health issues. And you thought, Spirit is just sharing this as an example. Maybe the stress of that job was causing you health issues where you needed to go to a doctor. So you thought you needed the insurance. But if you really just were following your heart's desire and doing what you loved, you would be healthier and you wouldn't need that insurance and you wouldn't need to go to that doctor. And Spirit's just kind of making light of it and just using some old ways of thinking of how we used to think. So a lot of us really are cutting off the cords and the expectations of how things used to be done to allow greater freedom in navigation, in expression, in living, they're saying. So I just wanted to share that. That just came through. So what I originally came on for today is I was just gaining some insight as I went for my RIA and the run, and I went for a little mini lift, or I call it Snapify because I go to Snap Gym, I run to the gym, then do a little workout and, do a quick jump back home. Well, anyways, what was coming to me is so many of us, and you guys are, I know, all of you guys watching now are truly master light blasters, and you have opened up to your gifts and your abilities and your talents, and you are even guiding others on that pathway where they're just awakening to knowing there's something more to them than what they've been living. They're waking up to their innate self, their gifts. And a lot of times what we will hear is, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I channel? How can I become more psychic? Or I really wish I had healing abilities, or I really wish I could channel, or I wish I could read cards. Because I used to be like that as well. And obviously we're always expanding those gifts and allowing more and more and more. But if it's in someone's heart's desire and they have an interest in it, that is their answer. And what happens sometimes is, or you wish you were a medium. So I wish I was a medium. I wish I was a channeler, but I wanted to channel in mediumship, like say John Edwards. I wanted to see the physical being like some people do. Oh, I see your grandma there. She's got red hair, a pearl necklace, a blue dress, and sparkling blue eyes. And I thought that every channeling or every bit of information had to come more from that separation. And I realize I channel more as a part of myself through my senses, almost like super empathic, where some people channel like it's kind of a jack of all trades where you can feel, but you also get visions periodically. You feel certain sensations in your body, and then you just get a sense of knowingness. So I wanted to have these gifts, abilities, and talents, and even teaching and all of that stuff, but I wanted it to look a certain way. So sometimes our own blockage, this goes along with that message I just said. So a lot of times our own blockage is stopping us from actually allowing what we are to come through, because we have a certain expectation or think it needs to appear this way, or we need to be like the Long Island channeler or Sylvia Brown, or all of these things. But our frequency, and we're individual, so we are going to have our gifts expressed differently. Could be through reading tea leaves, or just whatever modality, technique, exercise, experience, whatever your modality is, it's perfect for you. And a lot of times we stump ourselves by thinking we need to do it a certain way, because we've allowed others that are operating in their gifts to inspire us and to spark us and to be that reflection of us. And we should allow that to activate us, but not to compare or think we need to fit in that mold, but to create our own mold. There's only one of us, only one form fits us, only one form, one mold fits us, which is representative of our divine frequency imprint. So we can only express it in a certain way. So we'll express our gifts, our talents, our healing modalities, our connections to spirit differently. And we are stepping into our individuality more and more and more and more, own in divine frequency imprint, our own state of sovereignty, liberation, and freedom. So it's going to express, and we're waking up to that. And all of you guys are also way showers for others. You might show them something about themselves, but their expression will be different. So I know a lot of times I will get requests, well, how do I do this? Well, whatever feels right for you. Know that you have that gift, know that you have that ability, know that you have that talent, just the very desire in you, that longing, that attraction to whatever field it is you're interested in. That in itself is saying, yeah, that is a piece of me, and it's up to me to allow it. And how do we allow it and find it is going through what those areas of passion are. Could be reading up. For some of us, it could be visual, reading knowledge, then it sparks stuff within us. For others, it might be watching YouTube videos. For others, it's taking classes. And all of those outside reflections are just to help us activate or to mirror a small fraction of what we have built, what we're capable of within. So all of you guys, good morning, Shireen. All of you guys hold this, and I know you already know this array of talents and gifts that can only be expressed through you. And it's just about now allowing, okay, I can't necessarily channel like John Edwards. So not allowing that to block you, just like whatever desire or the way you thought life had to be. Remember, we're talking about blockages and walls and resistance. Instead, allow that to be your friend and say, oh, that is beautiful. I'm not going to necessarily channel like that. So now I can be like water and just merge and flow to where my path takes me. But knowing I have that ability just expressed differently without that expectational result or form or modality or ceremony or whatever it is for you. So you guys are all master light blasters, and it's through our darkness that our light is activated. And every time we activate our light, we activate a portal of information, a stream of consciousness, a gift, a talent within us to be exposed, just like a healer heals because of what they have gone through. So I thought today, hey, good morning, Tamra. If you guys want individuals, let me know. and I'll stick my PayPal. Otherwise, I am going to do a collective and just see how it might fit you or connect to you of what your information is. And I'm going to do a 3 cards. Oh my God, that's another thing that whole Ryu channeling was talking about, how the power of 3, and how I always say we create with the 3 legs, with the power of 3, the mind, the body, the spirit, and that new creation. Well, that power of 3, that triangle is literally a portal. It is a portal to a world where we're embodying more of this state of being, embodying more of our light, where it's a portal. So the triangle, whenever we bring our mind, our body, and spirit together, creating from this higher frequency, it literally is a portal to an expression of a higher frequency of us, an existence, a reality where we are demonstrating and living that. Is that not beautiful? So the power of 3 really, 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 really is our power point. It's amazing. It's just like, I am receiving so much physical affirmation for what has been activated in me as affirmation, but not to stop there, but to continue that expansion. Oh, so resonates with me. Awesome, Shireen. It resonates with me as well. Even now, I'm like, holy shit, man, how's that person do that? And then what we'll do sometimes is we'll be inclined to model that person, or it doesn't even have to be a spiritual person. It can be a boss, or it can be an exercise person, or an IT or a techie, or an artist or a musician or whatever it is. And that's okay. But know that that isn't the end all mold. You're not supposed to fit into it. You're just allowing that mirror to activate or bring it within, that excitement to spark, to be that breadcrumb, to be that little spark in you that you end up developing yourself. And it's not that you're making something that wasn't there. You're just allowing it, but you are developing it in the physical form to be experienced through whatever draws your attention. So in the past, I used to read tons of like spiritual stuff, and like Deepak Chopra and quantum physics, and just tons of different things that weren't exciting, like then Cryon, and then all these different spiritual books and YouTube, and even religious, like Joyce Myers. And so I would take all of these pieces, like I said, we're made up of pieces of our God self. So we're not going to be just one way. You're going to be pieces. Like I said, taking the pieces, and like I consider myself almost like jack of all trades. I'll take a little bit of everything to fit my own unique form. Just like baking a recipe, you take okay, this is a perfect example. So I made clam chowder this weekend, not clam, seafood. And I took the base recipe, but then we tweak recipes all the time. Add some Old Bay, or add some garlic, or add some more pepper, and we tweak it. So we allow these reflections and mirrors in our outside reality to be an example, just like we are examples for others. We are way showers, master light blasters, beacons. But then we take that little bit of this recipe. Oh, I like the way they did this in this recipe. And you know how we combine it? Well, that's what we do essentially with our gifts and our abilities and our talents, to discover our divine frequency imprint, to fine tune ourself, is like fine tuning that recipe. And then again, we've been talking about the recipes having all of these different components, all of these multidimensional parts, like the flour. Well, it's not just flour. It's the farmer that grew the flour. It's even the brand tractor that harvested the wheat. It's the place that went and broke it down into flour. It is the company that packaged it as flour. You know what I mean? So even within a bag of flour, it's multidimensional. So you guys all hold multidimensional parts, making up your perfect recipe. And every time we follow that and allow a piece of ourself to come forth, every moment of now is a moment of us to gain reflection, insight, awareness, to take action, whatever it is. We activate more light, and we become more and more and more multidimensional, allowing connections to all of those other streams and layers of us to be presented in the now, this physical timeline, even though this physical timeline, we're always shifting through portals. And every level creates another new triangle of frequency. And then we're always activating. So every little light spark, every little synapse is a portal unto itself. So you guys hold within yourself universes. You know how they say the universe is within you and you are the universe? Every light activation is a portal, a universe, a dimension unto itself. That's how brilliant you guys are. I am looking for a new career. This is exciting. Yeah, so just knowing things, our frequency is calling forth ways of being that did not operate in the old energy. The 9 to 5, the going to school, to get the degree, to being stuck into a job like maybe our parents did and they never changed and they started out of school or college and they retired at that same place. Like my dad, it was GE. My mom, it was kind of GE. A lot of my family, it was GE, and that's not the way. And it's even about people will say we're so unfocused, like the new generation. When you say they're unfocused or ADD, they're not ADD. They're multidimensional. So now the new way is kind of skipping and hopping and jumping and getting what we need for this job for this short amount of time, or going to this teacher for that short amount of time, just enough to activate our own light. So we are feeding ourselves all the time from whatever we're bringing our focus and awareness to. So Shireen, whatever it is for you, just knowing that there is no more solidity and only one way and it's stuck. So don't feel bad if you, like my son is notorious for this, in a job for 6 months and goes to another job, but he got the activations, the code exchange, whatever you want to call it, to his next step. And now we are time hopping, jumping, portal, activating and going through portals so much that our life is changing like boom, 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 boom. So for you, Shireen, it's going with that flow of excitement and where you're drawn to and trusting in it and not projecting into the future so much, because all we really have is what is available to us now. So I was even thinking, even in terms of living space and stuff, I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to project and base it on the way things were done. And this was kind of hard for me to let go of, that familiarity, that comfort, that security, that stability, where there is freedom in non-stability. And if we look at things differently, then we gain that as a friend. So the unstable, insecure world, the lack of anchoring that we might have felt in the past, however many years you've been going through this, is actually a gift, because then we gain the gift of freedom and movement in that, and expansion, and not being stuck anywhere. So we're really being called to be fluid and expansive in every moment of now. So the way to look at it is, even in your decision making now, not to base your decision in projecting into the future, thinking you need to do it in the same way. So what is available to you now, acting to the best of your capability to what is available to you now, what feels the best. And that might be exploring a few different options, putting yourself there energetically to see, even in the imagination, and feeling what and acting on what is available to you now, to the best of your capability, to the highest frequency. What brings you the peace? That's high frequency. It's not just high flying. It's a inner, with even within the outer reflection of security, comfort, anchoring in. This is such a paradox. It's bringing you a greater peace, anchoring within. The outside reflection isn't necessarily going to match that inner peace, yet it's all working as one, if that makes sense. Our true peace and anchoring and stability and security is coming from within, not that outside reflection. And if it's coming from within, well, we only have the capability to utilize and know and make a decision on all that we know now. Yeah, you can base it from things you've learned from the past, but it's not going to exactly match the exact imprint of the past. It's allowing all to work for you now in your decision making of now. And this is based on a higher frequency of what brings you peace within, Shireen, and not making all your choices in old energies of, say, career or whatever it is for you guys. Okay. So I thought that I would do a collective. I was just at the time, I'm just going to need to be out of here at 10:45. Good morning, Miss Palazzo. Oh my God, I almost was sitting on these glasses, looking to break pair number 3. I am not doing anything in life, having life changes in terms of finances. I am unclear about my career, talent, and abilities. This is a beautiful place to be when you don't have anything set in stone, because then you can also allow all parts of yourself to come for surrender. It's like a blank slate. And how do you just kind of trying out different things, or how do you feel about it? It's beautiful because you're rediscovering a new frequency of you, Surrender. This is a beautiful place to be. It's like giving birth to a new expression of you. This is beautiful. So if nothing, if your past didn't exist and where you are now, what career or what vehicle of expression excites you? Like, is it an artist, or is it IT work, or is it what's it called? Oceanic science. What the hell's that called? I can't even think. Is it space exploration? Is it sci-fi? Whatever it is it art? Is it cooking? So let's take away your past completely, wipe it away. What kind of excites you right now? For me, I know it's like freedom, um, generating my own value and worth and expression and financial stability, um, not dependent on a 9 to 5. It's freedom of expression, freedom to be me. But for me personally, it's spiritual expansion, just our power, our light within. To me, it's all about that. So what spiritual teachings, exploration, and expansion of knowing ourselves, to me, it's all self-realization, activating that God within and having that experience and living in that new earth. And it's through the non-physical expression for me. But what excites you, Surrender? Like, what excites you? What would you do? And I know this is cliche. What would you do right now? And maybe that's exactly what you're saying, I don't know, if nothing was dependent in the physical world. This is beautiful. You're just in a new place of exploration and discovery. It's like somebody whose career was taken away or laid off, or their business was closed down, or like I was using the example of an athlete getting hurt and having to take a different avenue. I'm feeling that, um, yeah, it's a whole new world. What's that Disney song? It's a whole new world. And it literally is a whole new world where we are allowed now to create exactly what we want from a blank slate, from square one, based in the frequency of our heart's desire now. The frequency we're operating in is always expanding, but what is available to you now to utilize? Is it part-time? Is it full-time? Is it independent? What's the word? Entrepreneurish? Or is it you feel, and to honor if you feel better having um, something more secure. I'm not saying not to do that. Honor whatever your soul's calling is, and always work with where you're at. Doesn't mean you're there forever, but work with where you're at. Like, I am not secure enough to say I want to live in Hawaii, and I don't feel called first of that, but to just pack up and just go there with zero money. Some people got that balls, those balls. I don't necessarily have that. So it's honoring where you are now. The freedom of having a blank slate is scary. It's scary because it's calling forth expansion. So we can take the opposing force of what we're feeling, allow the scaredy catness, but know what's on the other side of that: fulfillment, new life, light, um, peace. Like, scary feels skeptical. It feels like unknowing, fear of the unknown. And that's beautiful too, because it gives you an opportunity to confront those fears within you right now. Yes, it's scary. And then you can break it down and say, okay, what's scary about it? And also, what is the reality of it really holding me back, and having that, whatever that fear is, does it really, what is the real concrete impact on me? And it's just kind of like self-exploring all of those ideas. Is what I got to gain, um, is the reward greater than me holding myself back? So maybe doing pros and cons and just journaling and letting it write it out, because as you write, that's like the middle between the mind and the heart, and the stuff is going to come forth through you through writing. Just writing down your fears, writing down the gains, writing down the benefits. That's a beautiful way to channel and move energy. Otherwise, it can just stay in an energetic block within you, and then you don't want to face it. And then I was like, oh my God, it's too overwhelming. So as you write down your fears, Surrender, the pros and the cons, the benefits, what is it without the fear that you would love to live? And it helps you to move those blockages and to confront them with a higher awareness. Thank you, Shireen. Thank you, Leona. I'd love to do a fashion design and actually being a seamstress. Well, can you? Okay, beautiful. Are you doing that at any level now, Leona? Can you even like start by hemming or fixing people's clothes? My mom did seamstress for a while, or for a factory, making clothes as well. I just went and had some pants hemmed at a local Pratt Abbott, which is a dry cleaning place, but they do hemming. Maybe you get on their list for just hemming and fixing, and then you get known for, oh, I can also sew and create this and that, or put an ad and people needing any sort of, or maybe you do that seamstress or mending or hemming, or need a garment of clothing. Obviously you got the skills already, or maybe you need what's the word called, a custom made piece of clothing, and just putting that out there on Google or Craigslist, or connecting with local what's it called again, dry cleaning places, laundry mats that offer that as a service, and saying, hey, I offer this service. I don't know, just little tiny ways that you can step into it. Thank you, Tamara. I'm glad you said that. That's so beautiful, because I am going to actually, and I've been contemplating today when I'm running, I'm always going to do my public lives, but I am going to create a class where it's private and you do pay a fee, and we collaborate and we have private classes where I do readings, do teachings, we elaborate. You guys are going to create the subject matters and with me, and we're going to do like these monthly things. Like, I'm still going to come on like I do now, but I'm going to put the energy into those that are a little more like you guys, Master Light Blasters, serious. I used to make my own clothes when I was in high school. I sucked at home ec and sewing, and my mom is so good at it. I never learned from her. I wish I had that ability, but it doesn't excite me. I think it'd be cool, but no, my passion ain't there. And I think that is such a gift when you can sew and create clothes, and that is amazing. I think what it was is they broke it down too much into home ec with the patterns, and my mind didn't work in break down patterns and numbers, and it was too much for me. I don't know, or I skipped too much high school. I skipped too much and I didn't get it. All I remembered is I made in the 80s a wrap around skirt, jean material, where it wrapped around skirt and it tied, but I had my mom do most of the work. Artat offering readings. Artat offering readings. Not sure what that is. Artat. Hey Dina, thank you for joining. Yeah, and you, Leona, I feel this so strong for you. Just, there's no greater freedom and reward than working for yourself. I've never had a benefit paying job. I went to hair college when I was 18, graduated 18, had to put what they called 2 years in for someone. That's what was called for back then. And then to be a manager, get a manager license, and open up my own shop since 21. I don't do hair now professionally, but for so many years I just worked for myself, and it was so worth not to have my husband had the benefit, so I can't, that was cool. But then we did divorce and I still did hair and I didn't have the benefits, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, it is so worth the rewards, that freedom, that liberation, that sovereignty to do. And you work hard, but it's rewarding. And if it's what you love, it isn't work. So I just see you doing that, Leona. All right. All right. So I'm going to stick a collective up, or not a collective. I'm going to stick my PayPal up there if someone wants a personal. I'm only going to be on until like a certain amount of time, 11:45. If you want a personal, I'm going to stick that up there, whatever. I'm just going to call it whatever you want. If you want a personal regarding this. But what I'm going to do is 3 cards that I'm going to pull in, because I absolutely love to pull in. Do I even have those cards? Oh, I don't have them all here. So I'm going to pull in this one. I don't know if you guys can see that because it's blanked out. The Shamanic Oracle, which is pulling in that multidimensional gift part of us. A consciousness and a mystical wisdom. I don't know. I'll see what it feels like. It could be different for every person. but yeah, I'm definitely going to get more uniformity, and I'm going to work on creating that where I'm sure all of you guys would do that because it's more of a master class. It's those willing to delve and they understand, and it's a master like blaster kind of class that you just like what I do now, but a little more in depth, personal, private, and where and this is what the Gold Room group was originally created in, and it's kind of and that's a beautiful place to practice as well because it still is private. So incorporating it with that, but doing it like private through StreamYard and not StreamYard, actually creating a page, a private, and then you guys are allowed into it. But I'll go over that another time. I won't get into that right now. Okay, so if you want a personal, I stuck my PayPal link up there. So that's by donation. Whoops. Otherwise, I am going to be just kind of doing a collective and addressing you guys' comments intuitively and what spirit brings through. Did I stick that up there? Oh, all right. So I'm going to stick that up there. Start comment. Oh, Sunder. Whoops. Sorry. This is actually my, I'm not a place to heal, but I'm a moderator there. Okay. Good morning, Suzanne. Thank you guys for sharing out. If you want a private donation, whatever you feel, at riabarna1224 at Gmail, or my other one if that's what pops up. And we're discussing our gifts, our talents, our abilities, and how so many of us stunt ourselves because we're trying to fit into a mold of another, or we think it has to be done a certain way. You guys all have innate gifts you came to express. Those outside reflections, John Edwards, spiritual healers, Sylvia Brown, whoever it is for you guys, the Long Island psychic, cake boss, whoever that role model is that you love, they spark you and they're a role model because you have a gift based in that same root expression. So say it's a baker, you have that capability, but they're there to activate that desire that you have. So if it's in your heart, it's in your ability, is what Spirit is saying. If it's in your heart, it's in your ability. The only thing stopping you is thinking it needs to unravel certain timeline procedures. It has to look a certain way. You guys are all multidimensional. You are pulling upon many different dimensions. So they're saying all of you guys watching now and later are not just master light blasters, but you're multi-taskers. You are multi-talented because you've activated so many light codes within you. The more light you become, the more multidimensional. Every light code is a dimension in a universe unto itself, and you're allowing all of that information to flow into you. So you're going to get the bits and pieces that you need from all of these interests you might have had in the past, whether it be science, quantum physics, sewing, gardening, athletics. You're going to take all of those little interests and they're going to unify in this beautiful divine frequency expression that you guys are bringing forth. Like you can even say my Rhea on the run. To me, it seemed kind of silly. And she's running like John Thadiator always would say, I used to think you were just some chick that liked to exercise. But when I really listened to you, you really had a lot to say, or you channel a lot. And so I love movement. I love to run. I love to like exercise or be fit to some level. So I took that and incorporated it with my Rhea on the run, my spiritual messages. So Spirit is just using that as a little demonstration. Leona, you could be sewing a dress and patterns and they could speak to you and that's going to activate this other information within you. You guys know what I'm saying. Or when I go running or when I took pictures. Okay, so running activated my Rhea on the run. They were a catalyst for all of my Mother Earth heart cards, all of my spiritual messages. Every time I look at a heart, I see different images, they morph. So not only that, they exercise my third eye, my psychic ability to get images and to make sense of all of this subliminal, they're saying, subliminal, behind the scenes, what's the word? Energies that are behind the scenes, but you don't feel them. What are they called? Anyways, to make sense and to relay them and to read them. So you guys, they're saying right now, all of you guys watching now or later are taking many gifts and talents and abilities that have been sparked within you to be delivered through your unique expression, your mold. Is that not beautiful? So it's not just doing one thing, because you are multidimensional. And as you activate more and more of your light, you're activating multidimensional information, talents, and gifts. And I've been talking about this a lot, that whole multidimensional and activating those streams of consciousness. Every light is a dimension unto itself. It's a gift. And we are allowing all of those streams to be activated through our master light velocity, which is just transmuting darkness, fears, density into the light that it was. And we're activating and becoming lighter as we do that. And it is fine tuning us in this physical world to bring forth this godly creation, this piece of art that is so beautiful. And the human mind will want to criticize or belittle. So these cards, when I first did them, and I'm like, what the hell, spirit? These are stupid. I have all these arguments. I'm just laughing because I can see the higher awareness and the limited awareness of me all playing out at once. And it's such a beautiful place to be, because spirit literally said, why don't you take your hearts you see running? And it was an audible voice, but it was in my head, and match up to your hearts. And I'm like, well, that's boring. And so my human mind immediately said, well, that's boring. Because at that time I was taking all of my spiritual messages, going to Google, matching them to images, which was fun. But then I never knew. I see a cherub in this, and then this morphs into a whole bunch of other stuff. So it really helps to, these cards really help to develop your psychic ability as well, because you're taking your visual, your feeling, your all of your senses. So I just find this exciting for all of you guys, because you're taking all of your abilities, and just note when the limited mind is criticizing and just laugh at it, because you don't know what's, you don't even, you just, who knows where it's going to go, right? All right. So if anyone made a donation, let me know. It's not talking me to your account. It's not taking me to your account. Oh, okay. So Leona. So it's Ria Barnett at Gmail. So that one's not the Temple of the Sun. It'll just come up as, it might come up as Marie Barna or Ria. But if you can only do the Temple of the Sun one, do that one. Just if you don't mind, tag me as a friend or relative. So a lot of people are using personals, because then you can not get the service charges on your donations. But if you can't get into Ria Barna 1224, is that what I put up there, at Gmail? Just use my Ria Barna at Gmail. That's fine. Whatever. That one will come up as Marie Barna, but my picture is there, and it's my personal. But let me know, Leona, if you have any issues. Dina donated. Okay, thank you, Gina. Did you receive me? Okay, thank you very much, Dina. I didn't notice yet, but I trust you. I trust you. All right, so I'm gonna call it to just 3 people for right now, okay, guys? Because I do have to take off in a little bit, unless we see how long this goes. So I've got down Dina, Tamra, and Leona. Leona, I'll stick my other one up there just so you have another one in case you can't do it really, really quick. So my other one is Ria Barna at gmail.com. Whoops. It's not. This one has got like that thumbnail thing or whatever you call it. I think, is that it? Is that what the other one is? All right. The other one's paypal.me at Ria Barna. If this one works better for you, there you go. There you go, Leona. Okay, so Dina, let me know, Leona, if you made a donation. I'm going to go right to, good morning, Brenda. Take these things off. All right, so Dina, any particular question? Was it to do with these gifts? Thank you, Gina, for letting me know. Hey, Lauren. All right. So if you love those, the Mother Earth Heart cards, I'm going to do that. Let's just see what comes forth for Dina. Focus on Dina. All right. Let me know, Dina, if you had a particular question. Have fun at the library. I see your last name, Fortune, and it's just immediately names mean something, and it's all connected to something. So I just feel like they're saying you've got a fortune of gifts. You have a fortune of abilities and talents and gifts. And sometimes they're saying it's too hard for you. Sometimes it's too much for you to decide to where to focus on which one. I don't know if you feel that, but what Spirit is bringing through, Dina, is sometimes you've got so many abilities, so many talents that sometimes it's hard for you to put your energy and channel into just one. And they're saying, don't worry about that. Even if one stream of excitement in the moment doesn't seem to be related to a other venture that you're trying to complete or have a goal, it's all aiding you, they're saying. So sometimes they're saying, Dina, just follow those diversions of where you're trying to create something, but then you're drawn somewhere else. That's okay, because it's all aiding the whole. They're saying any excitement is aiding the bigger excitement. You are very fortunate, they're saying. You're very fortunate, and you're very fortuneness, they're saying, Dina. All right. Immediately. And what I'm picking up is I pick up so much green on you with its growth, its expansion, its giver of life, its expression, its connection to Mother Earth, the plants, the heart. I'm just feeling like just swirls of green and expressions of green, plants almost stemming, plants and greenery stemming from your heart. So sometimes we were taught to keep really straight focused, and they're bringing that up again with you, Dina, is they say, stay concentrated, be tunnel vision, focus on that. Put all of your eggs in one basket, put all of your focus there. That's the way to be successful. Don't get distracted. In some applications, that is true, they're saying, but for you, when it sparks artistic insight, creativity, expression, they're saying allow your paintbrush, meaning your focus, to touch wherever you are being called, because that's activating light code streams of consciousness to then, if they're showing it like a swoon of energy coming right back down to even a greater expression. So I like, obviously, this kind of stuff, spiritual expression, doing readings and stuff, but yet sometimes I'm drawn to watch a Netflix series, go to the gym, or create some artwork. I have all these heart shells, and I make little frame, shadow boxes with them. So it might not seem like it's being connected to me actually developing spiritually or whatever, my readings or my classes or whatever I'm doing, but they're saying it is aiding. So there's something there with you maybe wondering or contemplating being easily distracted, almost like ADD, but that is your gift. So your detriment is also your gift when you can take that different perception or angle, description, identity, label of it. You are labelless, they're saying, the gifts. All right. So I am going to pull your Mother Earth heart card. I thought I had my life purpose cards here, but I don't think I need them. Your life purpose is where your heart is being pulled. Like, I lived in Vermont. Vermont is beautiful. Went to Vermont yesterday, saw my parents, and it's so beautiful. And it's a Green Mountain state, and it's so, so beautiful. But my heart really, I got a string to the ocean. It connects me to the ocean. So there's so much beauty to be had, and just I can appreciate that, but yet be drawn somewhere else. So you can be drawn, and they're showing me like Gina's got a lot of different strings of where she's pulled. Not a lot, but they're showing me you might be questioning one specific one. They're showing me you're questioning one specific tug. If the tug is there, it's a tug on the heart. It is your tuition. They're saying, come on, heart, come on, this way. So trusting in that. Just gonna pull you 3 cards just to see what comes out. Oh, and there's all the strings coming from you. This is what I was feeling, the strings. All right. Oh yeah, and I said I was gonna do one of these. All right. Yeah, only take me 5 minutes to get to where I'm going, 10 minutes. So I have Dina, I have Tamara, and Leona, let me know if I have you or not. All right, so briefly, this is just affirming all of the strengths, following that excitement, following that spark. You have dimensions and portals like opening up at massive activations within you, Dina, and you are going to have all of these different pulls, and it's just trusting what is available to you now, acting on what's available to you now, and not projecting that decision into the future, just acting and allowing yourself to be drawn or showed where to go in the moment. So not projecting into the future consequence of it, but trusting in that heart's pull. I reignite the divine spark within me and recognize I'm part of all creation. So maybe you are feeling an activation or being drawn to something that is a little bit different, or a take on what you're already doing. Yeah, you're so talented. You're so fortunate, they're saying, and you are so abundant. You're fortunate, they're saying. I like to focus, yes, a blessing and a challenge, yes. What we got is mystical shaman. And this is the part of you that you are drawing in to as a whole. It is it is the underlying current to the basis and the foundation of what you're doing now. So you're a mystical shaman. So you've got those feathers again. How similar? All of these look like the feathers of the shaman right here. See the headdress representing communications of spirit. Well, what's communications of spirit? Ultimately, communicating with spirit is connecting with all of those parts of yourself within your heart, all of those aspects of yourself within your heart, all of those frequencies within yourself that become available to you when you need them. So what they're saying also, Dina, is the information you need will become available to you when you need it. All frequencies require different responses. So you are so multidimensional. It's about you trusting in the moment, and what you need to know, you're going to receive. What you need to know, you will receive, because we got this ancient part of you, and then we've got this other part. So that is almost like showing a dichotomy. You might have this really young, youthful, kid-like spirit, but something in you is very strong and stern and like grandfather energy. So you are really being guided. The child within you is being very guided by this strong shamanic grandfather energy that is all knowing. That is the chief, that has this great wisdom. But he's also letting this child part, this galactic starseed child, explore as well. She is faint in density, so it's allowing the translucence, allowing her to go where she needs to go without being so solid. So that is just saying you are being allowed to go without the solidity, to visualize, to meander through your imagination, and just trusting where you are brought. But you're looking up at so I'm just feeling that you allow, and you see so much beauty in your life also, and allowing the beauty that sparks you the most to follow those ideas, those transmissions. You're very, very, very in tune. Lots of grandfather energy. And what stands out is this right here. So anchored to me, this strong horn or rod, it's that grounding rod. So you have this strong grounding rod of grandfather energy within your being, even though your outside reflection might seem less physical and dense. And that's beautiful, because you actually have both of those energies working for you. And then the two Mother Earth heart cards. This one is very rarely pulled. And I took a picture. It's my little son, Mythos, years ago. He was probably 5 years old. And he got some, foam hand wash, and it turned it to a heart. And most of these are all organic, but this one was just so beautiful. But I wanted to, so I incorporated that. His hand is all red. So this is almost representing too. There's something to do with Indians, rednecks, red face, red blood, passionate, very, very passionate, raw energy. There's some sort of timeline where you do have this Indian heritage coming through. Blood shed, they're saying. I remember when I was little, we used to play, back in the days when we used to play cowboys and Indians, and we used to call each other, if we're Indian, rednecks. So something to do with the red color, red heritage, Indian timeline, rednecks, bloodshed, protecting, kind of when the America was being first colonized and civilized, something to do with that kind of timeline. Maybe that makes sense to you. But what it says is thank you. Thank you. Random proclamations of gratitude act as mini portals in which abundance flows. When you release the emotions of gratitude, it creates pathways for the universe to send you more your way. Well, these are all little foam bubbles. Every little bubble is a universe and portal unto itself. So this is just telling me that you do show so much gratitude and thankfulness, and that's why you are so fortunate with all of these gifts, all of these abilities, all of these light activations, because you do hold that spirit of thankfulness. This Indian has that beautiful honoring of Mother Earth and that physical experience on Earth. And so do you now, and you carry that into this timeline. A connection to Mother Earth and the way that the Indian is thankful utilizes all of the materials and gratitude and doesn't waste anything and all of that kind of stuff as well. You hold that in your frequency. So thank you. When you can hold that kind of frequency, you are fortunate. You are so fortunate, and you create portals available to you. The other Mother Earth Heart card was this one, Answers. We got this little conglomeration of all of these leaves pushed against the curb. And to me, I see an angel in there. I see a little head and a little circle here. So the head, the wings of all of these leaves and pine needles and dirt and sand, all just pushed against the curb, but it's angelic. So maybe sometimes you feel pushed against the curb, or you feel like you've met your limit and you might feel that you can't get beyond that. Well, you've got the angels' guidance, and the universe has got your back. And through all of these times where you have been thankful, whether it be this timeline or other timelines, you have all of these portals of support and availability helping you to get beyond what seems limiting. It's like this, you've got this huge angel guardian protector. It's very much related to this grandfather energy. And just in that gratitude and that thankfulness, this spirit here is helping to show you and aid you. She's holding her hands in a circle, like holding, but very angelic. That just looks like wings. Answers. The answers you are seeking are in the now, Dina. Your present path will reveal what you need to know. Your present path will reveal what you need to know. Just like I said on that too, you're going to know what you need to know when you need to know it. That was the intuitive answer channeling that you got when I first tuned into you. Through choosing to find joy in the now illuminates that which you are seeking, and it will appear to you. That was the beginning message. So you've got angelic forces, energies of you that are working for you behind the scenes. So even when you feel like you're pushed up against the curb, that is illusionary, and that is actually your gift. So making a friend of those limitations or the unknowingness is when you make friends with it, knowing that it's really there to show you another way and to activate another path, then that's when you are released. That's when the freedom comes. And whenever this was just hanging around, so I feel I'm supposed to read it to you. This also looks like a heart with a lot of different portals, goes along perfectly with this one, all of the different portals in that foam. Whenever you think upon what makes you happy, it's like putting money in the bank. Also goes with that whole thankful thing. Those thoughts are direct deposit into the bank of the universe, just waiting for a withdrawal. The universe always manifests according to the energetic vibration that you are emitting. So big, a lot of weight and burden is released from you just through you holding that state of being thankful and knowing that you have all of these potentials. You are so fortunate in your multidimensionality, and it's always working for you. And the main thing was when you feel like you're put against a curb, allow that to be your friend, and you'll be shown the way. You'll be shown which path by making friends with that unknowingness and the darkness and the limitations. Thank you, Dina. Thank you so much. I'll look to that in my records. Oh, okay. Yeah. If you have that, definitely this is really strong in your energy, I'm feeling. If you don't have actually a grandfather too, who has those ties in spirit around you as well. All right. One more. I've got Tamra. All right, Tamra. I have Tamra, and then I need to scoot out Leona, I didn't see anything from you, so let me know. And if you did, I'll just come back and do a private for you. Oh, where the heck's my other bell? All right, Tamara. I'm just feeling a lot of joy for you, Tamara. A lot of light activations, tons and tons of yellow illuminating from you. And also the joy and portal activations whenever you're activated. And if you're ever questioning if you're being activated, the joy is your sign. When you feel that liberation and that exalting or that release, when you feel a release or that spark of just joy and just like thankfulness and gratitude and like, oh my God, that was an insight, or oh my God, I'm so happy that happened. Now I have a greater understanding. That is all light activating. So you might be questioning if you, to what degree you're activating, and how are you activating codes, and how are you embodying all of this light. It's those sparks of joy, it's those moments, it's those bursts of energy and passions and gratitude and thanking, and you're literally activating and opening up the portals within you, Tamara. All right, let's just see what we got for you, Tamara. Let me know if you had a specific oh my goodness, very strong message for you there as well. About the streams of consciousness opening up. But for you, they're saying every time you have an aha, Tamara, every time you get a little bit of an insight, it is activating and just opening up these portals within you. They're activating more and more light. Whenever you go through, you know, when we go through a blockage or we're working through some energy and then we feel so good on the outside, you've opened up portals, portals within portals of information by transmuting your fears, by allowing the emotions of darkness to just flow through you, by allowing those cries and those tears and those breakdowns and those little mini dark nights. You're literally transmuting energy and activating portals within you. A black hole is really a portal to another universe, they're saying. So whenever you've had those black hole experiences, they're portals into other universes of greater expansion, of expression of your God source energy, Tamara. The moon, the cycles. So you get the moon illuminating the light in the darkness. The light of the full moon shows us our way out of the woods or the pathways. There's times I go for walks in the woods where I live and I can't see anything. I don't see the moon, I don't see the stars, but I need to wear one of those little headlights. And then there's other times in the same time at night, the moon just lights the way. So it's about you lighting your own way. It's about you illuminating that full moon within you and opening up those pathways in the densities. You are creating these portals within the black holes of energies in your life. You've come in, Tamara, with very many dense black holes, but those holes were for you to navigate like a wormhole to come to the other side, where that new earth, where that new experience exists as you transmuted experiences and situations in your life. You're very, very, very powerful. They're saying on another timeline in a galactic energy, you are a black hole specialist. You have a galactic part of you on a timeline, another universe, where you are a black hole specialist, like Bashar is a specialist. I can't remember the name of his specialism, but communication, contact specialist. You are a black hole specialist, where you have traversed and allowed, explored these dense black holes of energy. And you chose to came as Tamara to have the physical experience through the physical density to further explore and expand this knowledge of dense energies. Oh my God, you're like a scientist, a galactic scientist, where you're a space traveler. You've come as Tamara. So darkness is your specialty, and you bring that light and create portals within the densities that you've experienced as a physical human. Wow. That's all I can say about that one. Wow. We'll pull a Mother Earth heart card. Hole represents the densest of density, and it collapses on itself, and it literally creates a portal to the light, to a new earth, a new reality. So you are doing that as an experiment in the physical to further explore information on this, on the density. Oh my gosh. It's as if you're a time traveler. You came for the density. Well, we all did, but you came to do with, it's to do with black holes, a connection to literal physical black holes in the cosmos and universes. But you came to play it out through a game as you explore the densities in being a physical human being, the emotions, the limitations a human faces. We got a whole bunch. All right. Well, there we go. That looks like a little black hole on the heart. That's the universe's, the Black Mother Earth heart cards to show and affirm that which we just said. That's like a little black hole. How do you, the little black hole is traversed, it is cleared, the opening is cleared and traversed through that heart. That looks like a pure heart, divinity, by connecting to yourself and allowing the densities and all of the strife, the little needles, the little pine needles can look like little swords, little daggers, little things that you've had to overcome. And this one looks like an eye. This looks like the eye or Horus or whatever it is, that third eye in the forehead. See that eye right there? The eye. This is like the lid, the shape of the eye, shaped by this pine needle. Well, you it's like your third eye. You've come to see, you know, your third eye is very open. Your pineal is activated. You have this opening within you that you came with. You came with this to have this experience, to traverse and work through these densities. This is also cannot look like just a black hole, but it's the pain that you've experienced as a human. Those areas where you are hurt or unfulfilled and all of that kind of stuff, you came to actually transmute it, to bring you to the light, to bring you to an expanded expression and experience of the God source energy, and to give you as a galactic black hole specialist information and actual physical experience on a different level as a human being. There's also a little face here, the little eyes, the little nose, the little ears. What it says is be true. Being true to yourself is the greatest accomplishment, for that is your connection to your soul's purpose and the source of your greatest creativity. So you can look at the black hole or the things in life that taught you about yourself. You needed those dense experiences and those black hole experiences and those dark nights of the souls in order to connect to what is true to you. What is Tamara about? How is she going to release who she is? She carried all of this lineage of genetics and density carried for generations and generations through lineage of her family. And you came to transmute all of that. And that darkness brought you to the divinity of you and a truer, authentic, pure connection to who Tamara is. And all of this has taught you, you only can be true to you. You can't please other people. You can't take on their burdens. It is not your innate self to carry darkness. You are God's source energy, and you came to illuminate that. You've come to experience worlds where you live that, but you chose as Tamara to experience a world that created the illusion of not being that in order to transmute it and to go through that black hole. They're also saying dark night of the soul, the pains, in order to come to the other side of you. It was all you for you. And then we got a little face here, an eye, a little nose, mouth, chin, facing this way. So a higher part of you, he even looks galactic with the big head, looks a little bit alien, the little tiny mouth, the little chin. It's almost like that alien part of you is really, really supporting you, that future self part of you, which is just multidimensional. Hopefully that made sense, Dina. I'm not Dina, Tamara. Oh, you sent through PayPal. All right. I am going to have to do yours later, Leona, okay? So I can either do it personally for you and message you back in a minute, or I could do it on the next live. You just let me know, okay? just private message me. I apologize. I have an appointment at 11 and it's 5 of. So I apologize for that, Leona. I will definitely get to you either privately, and you let me know what you prefer, privately, or you want me to tack it on to the next live, okay? All right, guys, thank you. I'm sorry I got to know. Just so you know, all happiness. Oh, Tamara, I'm glad. Okay, good. I didn't see those. What the F? What the F? That only makes sense that you've come to, you know, you're going to have some dark experiences here. All right. I love you guys. May you all shine with the entirety of all the love and light that you are. And I'll get right back to you, Leona.